Welcome back to the bubble, ladies and gentlemen, and another replay commentary of Cossacks 3. This is a 2v2 game that I played together with Josh, who you might know from his YouTube channel, but also, of course, he's a very prominent member of our Discord community. So, of course, thank you to Josh for playing this game with me, but it's a 2v2 15-minute peacetime. I think we have both artillery and capture actually on in this one, which is a bit different compared to how I usually play. But I mean, there are pros and cons of all of these things, but if you really want to like squeeze out the maximum Cossacks experience, I guess you really should play with both capture on and with artillery, etc. But to each his own, you know? Just play however you want to play. But this is a 2v2 with artillery and with capture. We can start just going through the different players of this game with their factions and colors, so we know who is who. Starting off with the bottom left in red, we have yours truly, and I'm gonna play as Hungary in this game, so that's of course gonna be fun. Hungary get fast cavalry already in the 17th century with their hussars. So that can be a very fun faction to play for early aggression and for early raiding. If we go over to Josh, he's going to play as England, which is also a very interesting faction. One of the stronger ones, I might actually say. So let's see how he deals with that. If we go to our opponents, we start off at the top right. Napoleon is going to play as the Netherlands, bright blue we can call him. And last but not least, in the bottom right, purple, we have the last outpost playing as Prussia. And I think we can just start off the game right away. And for this one, I'm actually gonna start... Yeah, let's start with the last outpost and see how he's gonna start off this game. What's his start build gonna be? Okay, starting off with the town hall. Pretty basic stuff. Sending all of the peasants to the town hall. And going directly from that to a second one. Okay, now he's gonna start with a mill. Interesting. I wonder if that is actually the strategy behind that, because right now, after the first town hall, you want to get the storehouse as fast as possible so you can get the market, and then you can start focusing on the town halls later. And he still hasn't even gotten the storehouse. Maybe now, gonna build it down there, so he will be a bit slower on the market. But I mean, he's building his base pretty tightly packed, so that's good. Good starters, good starters. Gonna be a bit slow on the market though. If you look at Napoleon as Netherlands, he has also started with 2 town halls right away. Got the storehouse, and now he's going for the market. Pretty fortunate with the gold mines positioning here that he would find 2 of them pretty close by actually to his base. And wonder what he's gonna trade for when he's got the market up and running. If he's gonna trade for the 3rd town hall, how's he gonna get rid of his resources? First, the blacksmith, and then I guess trading everything for stone and wood. There we go. Wood traded, iron, stone traded, and now we can get the 3rd town hall. And after that, he should get the 2 barracks up and running. After that, either stable or academy. I mean, I usually like to go for the academy as fast as possible so I can get the upgrades. But also, the barrack is up and running already soon, at least. He's starting to build it. If we go down to my base, I mean, I did build a pretty nice base right off the bat. Pretty tightly packed around the fields. But I don't want to beat my own, toot my own horn too much. But at least I'm starting on the academy already. And it looks like I will get that bad boy finished pretty quickly. Also, found 3 of my gold mines. Now we just need to find the 4th one. And also, I have started building an iron mine, but it doesn't look like I've actually sent any peasants there. And the reason for me wanting to build an iron mine quickly is because, of course, the musketeers, the Haiduks, cost iron and they cost gold. So we don't want to run out of that to run out of the military production. But now, fortunately, I started building on the iron mine. Now we just need to find the 4th gold one. I mean, the 4th one, there we have it. So hopefully I can find that one and start building on it pretty quickly. It's so important to get the gold economy up and running as fast as possible, because that's just going to help you so much when it comes to upgrades of your military and of your mines and everything, basically. Now I found it, so I start building on it. Point-wise, I'm doing pretty well, actually. Someone who's doing a bit worse is Josh, but I think he's just focusing on something else. He has 1 barrack up and running. I wonder what kind of strategy he's going to go for here. If he's gonna go, he hasn't gotten the academy up yet. Maybe it's just, I mean, sometimes you have one of those games where just everything feels out of sync. but I wouldn't count Josh out yet. He's actually gotten to be a pretty good player, and I very much enjoy playing games with him and having him as my teammate. He's gotten the stable instead of the academy. I mean, there's some, maybe he's going for the for stable strategy. Could be something like that. But he is at least starting to catch up on points. He has just surpassed the last outpost, so he's not doing that bad. In the beginning, I mean, the points go up and down so quickly. He has a very beautiful hill here, actually, for defensive purposes that he can use for the range advantage. That is awesome, and especially since we play with cannons. Although, I don't even remember if I recruited any cannons in this game, to be honest. What's he starting to build there? A storehouse for the wood cutting, of course. I've started to scout out my base pretty well, because I need to know where I should build my palisades. So that's why you want to send a scout to each corner to every part of your furthest outside of your base. Basically, as close to these borders as possible, so they don't accidentally shoot something. But just so you know that there aren't any blockers in your palisade, because if you build a palisade over a shadowed area or a fog of war area, then you don't know if there's a stone spot there, if it's just some little hinge in the terrain that's gonna make you not being able to build there. So that's why I want to send them out to all the different corners and with a reasonable distance between them. So it's not really for protection as much as it is for vision. I have started to build my stables as well, and so I was a bit slower on my first stable, but if you sync up your wood production efficiently, then you can build the two stables right away pretty much after each other. I've got the first wood cutting upgrade and the first wood cutting upgrade and the first food upgrade. I don't want to get more food upgrades until I've at least gotten the second stable up and running, because you see, they cost wood and gold. You know what else costs wood and gold? Stables. And some stone, but not a lot. So that's why I'm usually a bit slower on getting the wood food upgrades, the latter ones at least. But so far I'm doing well. I haven't gotten the Diplo Center up yet, because I want to go for the second stable first. I don't even know if I might want to go for the third stable. I'm way behind on wood for that, actually, so I need to have a lot more of that before I can build another stable. But fortunately, with the wood cutting upgrade, it goes pretty quickly. But it looks like I've gotten, yes, now I'm going for the food harvesting upgrade, and 3.6 plus 2.4, so that's 6k wood. That could have gone towards the third stable instead, if you want to go be meticulous about it. Haven't started building on all of my mines yet, but I have 40 on gold, which means that I've upgraded all of them to level 2 at least. So now I'm guessing that I will want to start building on all of the other mines and start upgrading like some coal mines and some iron mines, so I can get the stone excavation upgrades and also the harness for the horses. I wasn't the smartest when I built this blacksmith, because it's a bit hidden behind the town hall, but at least I got it. And now I don't think I'm gonna go for a lot more of the upgrades in the academy yet, because I want to go for the harness, and that's gonna cost a lot of coal and some iron as well. So I'm guessing that I will start upgrading my coal mine soon. At least I should start building on all of them. I haven't even started building on all of them. I have started building my palisades, though. And this was a very good tip that I got regarding how you should start building your palisades. What I usually did is take, like, I think that, okay, I want this palisade to be built quickly, so I take 30 peasants and have all of them start building the palisade. And that is not the most efficient way to go about this, ladies and gentlemen, because you see that I had one peasant go down here, and then I kind of spread them out evenly along the palisade, and that is how you make the most out of the peasants, and you get the palisade built quicker, instead of just having a clump of peasants in one spot, which is going to get them to start bugging out. Like you've seen that some of my videos, they get like lodged in the palisade and I can't use them, so I have to suicide them. But at least I got that going for me, and now I've started to upgrade my coal mines, I'm guessing, with the sounds. I have that one level 2, that one level 2, not that one yet, but maybe also some iron mine, yes, that I upgraded, because now I want to go for the harness. And I have gotten the third stable up and running, and of course I'm going with the Hussars, because if you play without cannons and without capture, just go for the Dragoons generally, because you want that firepower, and they train pretty quickly. 15 seconds compared to 20 freaking 1, or 24 for the Reiters. So that's why you usually want to go for the Dragoons, but now that we have capture and cannons on, I want to be able to do some raids. And that's why I'm going to go with the Hussars. And where is my Diplo Center? Am I just going for stables? Now I'm going for the Diplo Center. But if we look at the cost for the 4th stable, it's actually not that high. 20k wood, 40 or 4,800 gold. And I have that gold, and I soon have that lumber as well. So the stables, to get up to 4 stables, it's not that expensive as you might think, especially if you count in the cost for the food upgrades. 6,000 wood just for 2 of them, and that could have gone through the 3rd stable. But what am I starting to get that? The artillery depot, because that's also something I want to try to be a lot better at, playing with artillery. I'm so unused to playing with artillery. Even when I played quick matches, I think you remember some of those games when we have cannons in quick matches, and we have capture, not of peasants, but of buildings. But I still never played with cannons, because I just thought that they were slow and they were expensive. But if you manage to play with them correctly, they can really turn the tide of basically any battle. And now Josh is building his palisade, and it looks like he's going with a clump strategy or tactic, and also the more spread out tactic of building the palisade. Now I'm running. What am I running out of? Gold? Food? I need to start trading for that a little bit. We have 1 minute left of peacetime, and it looks like Napoleon is doing a great job point-wise. He's both of them are falling behind me and Josh pretty much, but Napoleon is at least doing pretty well. He has a cathedral up and running. No artillery depot yet, right? No artillery depot, so we won't be able to go up to the 18th century, but he's now starting to build his Diplo Center, so he will be low in round shears compared to us. Also, he's making a stone wall there. Interesting choice, choice. And now it sounds like some scouts are starting to shoot at each other, which is not the best, because if the peacetime isn't up, then you are going to suicide whoever attacks, or whoever you attack. And that is actually a pretty solid strategy, that if you just, before peacetime, okay, it looks like we're gonna have a battle here, before peacetime, because so ironic that I said, this is how you build your palisade, and then I didn't freaking build my palisade correctly. So now they will be able to run in with Siege Cossacks, but fortunately they are not running straight into my base, and I got Siege Cossacks and Hussars on my own. But yes, what was I gonna talk about? Yeah, the peacetime. So before the peacetime is up, send troops towards your enemy. Just make sure that they don't attack him, and have him start attacking, like pull him back on your side of the peace line of the border, and then have him start shooting, because he will suicide his entire army like that. And that has happened to me on more than one occasion. I'm not proud of it, but it is a good strategy. Just use the mechanics of the game. So now I'm starting to move my troops out, and I really want to fill this gap in the palisade. Now I started doing that, but it looks like I missed a little spot, because my round shears wanted to run through. Please just fill that gap. Okay, and this is a stone wall, but it takes a long time to build a stone wall. That's why they still have gaps here, and I wonder if I'm actually going to go for that gap, or if I'm just going to start pulling back. I see there's a gap there. So now I'm starting to send my fast cavalry, and he actually had an opening in the gate as well. But I think we should be able to push there, and I sent my fast cavalry on the southern side as well. There we have a good little raid. And that is why you want your walls and your palisades to be built when the peacetime is up, because we have capture on, and my cavalry is faster than anything he has. So I will be able to capture mines, taking peasants, most likely to use to build a second civilization of my own, and it's open season on the economy of Purple's base. So, I mean, it's so important when you have capture on to just, you don't have to go for the fancy stone walls. Get a palisade first, and then inside of that, you can start making stone walls. You just need to make sure to have the some kind of protection against things like this. I need to destroy that coal mine. Oh, I didn't. But instead I moved in with my musketeers, and have I started building a second civilization? Yes, I have. Prussia, baby! So there we go. And now his pikemen come into their own because they are in close quarters and they will absolutely massacre my poor musketeers. So pikemen, they do serve a purpose. And especially now with capture, they should have guarded the mines, for example. But he was able to just absolutely annihilate my musketeers. Fortunately, I have started rebuilding my army, though. And I've started to send in some musketeers on the western side as well. Just need to keep the pressure on. And I need to destroy that coal mine so he doesn't... There we go. So he doesn't recapture it. I also destroy that iron mine so he doesn't recapture that. So that already I have dealt a massive blow to Purple's economy. And in the meantime... Josh is taking advantage of the fact that this palisade wasn't finished, so now he has the hill advantage. It doesn't matter that there's a stone wall here, because he has a decent enough range advantage, and if he starts sending catapults up on here, up on this little hill, then he will be able to deal a lot of damage, and I will just keep sending everything I have into the last outpost space. Not in the best way, because I'm sending them like one at a time, which means that they will just be... killed by the pikemen, but fortunately now the musketeers have started to catch up, and the round shears, I hope, will take enough. No, they don't buy us enough time. I need to start sending my army back. I have started getting cannons right now, though. I've realized that I'm starting to say catapults instead of cannons a lot. Might have done that already in this recording, actually, but I don't know why I say catapults instead of cannons. Both artillery start with the letter C. I don't know. But now Napoleon is sending Sikh Cossacks, and it's just mercenary Sikh Cossacks, so they're not going to be that scary to face, especially not against my Hussars. But they can still capture stuff. They can still capture a bunch of stuff. Fortunately, I didn't have any mines in this area. I do have them over here, though. But I do need to make sure that I am clear of these Sikh Cossacks before I start relaxing too much. And now the last outpost is starting to move into my base. The Grenadiers just absolutely annihilated my palisade, and now I'm gonna try to do the best I can with my cannons, just shoot into these little blobs here. But I don't think I'm going to be able to push this back, actually. Fortunately, we've managed to almost kill the Sikh Cossacks. They didn't capture anything, so that's good. Just need to keep killing them. And I'm going to try to do my best. Oh my god, that's not good. That cannon is going to be captured any second now, if I'm not very lucky. Most likely, I've just selected them to start moving them back. Sorry. Moving them back to my base. Now my Hussars are coming out as well, and I think they are going to buy us quite a bit of time. I have cannons in the base as well. It's going to help me, and I'm starting to make dragoons out of the diplomatic center, because they are very efficient in, like, you get good cavalry fast to just deal with threats, but they are super expensive to have on the field. So just make sure that you don't like mass them up to just have them standing there, because the cost of recruiting them goes up. Now they cost 193, 200, 204. Yeah, expensive. 208. I think the most expensive is like 250 or something like that. But still, you want to keep the numbers as few as possible. And now it's starting to push back on Purple's base. Josh, fortunately, is still holding this position, and he's starting to get cannons of his own. So he can start shooting down the stone wall, but also, of course, absolutely hold this hill here. I think he should have the range to start shooting at those dragoons as well, but I just need to keep pushing at last outpost base, at Purple's base. He is reforming his army back here, though, so that's good. I mean, it's no use just sending them out one at a time. Clump them up to a position where it's more easily defended, like between buildings and here in the base. So I'm just starting to mass up, but I do not have the forces right now to win against this. I don't think. Maybe I would have, actually. But it would be such an even battle. And I'm just starting to send in some Hussars to harass the Sikh Cossacks that Napoleon sent to reinforce. But look at that. The Dragoons just absolutely annihilates my poor Hussars. They are not the most armored fast cavalry you get. I think the only armored fast cavalry is the Winged Hussars, I actually think. But I'm starting to send a lot of cannons up here so I can start destroying. I don't need to destroy the walls because they are already open. But I need to start destroying the economy, start to destroy the military buildings, everything. So now the army of Purple is starting to move in. I have my cannons in a pretty vulnerable position right here. But I did see that, so I've started to shoot on his units. I should actually aim for the Dragoons instead of the Sikh Cossacks. But now they start to move in, and I think that my units should be able to deal with them, actually. I do not have any Hussars there. Now that finally the Hussars came. But purple did a really good thing there, sending his sick Cossacks to attack my Dragoons. And not just attack what's closest to them, but actually move them in to attack the Dragoons. And now I had to destroy the cannons so that they didn't get captured. Or they actually destroyed it for me, I don't know. But I've started to send in bombards as well, so we can start destroying buildings. I've got the cannons. This is probably the most amount of cannons I've had in quite some time, and I haven't even rebuilt this palisade yet. I'm just gonna send my spawning points for my military right up here in the front of Purple's base. And Napoleon keeps sending reinforcements, sending a lot of Dragoons actually, which is pretty scary, but I did see that with my cannons. So we'll need to start shooting at them. But unfortunately, the wall is blocking my view a little bit, or my shots. But now this is perfect for my cannons. And if they would just start attacking me, I'm not sure I would be able to beat this actually with the army that I have. And they have pikemen, and they have a lot of dragoons. But fortunately for me, they moved into the base. Now they started moving out again. What are you going to do, Napoleon? Is he moving back to his base? Because now he saw, I mean, Josh, he did break down this palisade, but he's still pretty passive. Just massing up an army on this hill. Well, I'm doing my best. And now I could use grape shot here in close quarters and deal a lot of damage. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Deal a lot of damage. But unfortunately, they actually managed to capture some of my cannons. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to recapture them before I lose a lot of my troops. There we go. Got them back. And now I'm just going to try to keep this little foothold that I've created for myself and hope that Napoleon is not going to move straight into my base, because if so, I'm toast. But fortunately, Josh is sending Hussars in. He is sending 17th century Dragoons in. And he is going to occupy a lot of attention from Napoleon, which is going to help me with just being able to keep pushing into Purple's base. He has a lot of units there, and they're going to capture some of my cannons. And I do not have a lot of troops left. I mean, I have this recruitment line that's coming in, but it looks like we will be able to take care of this, actually. So I think this might be the more interesting part to look at now. There's a battle, but no, Napoleon pulled back into his base, more easily defended. He's also getting some towers here to defend, but the Dragoons are just spawn killing everything in Napoleon's base. So he's not going to have a good time with massing up any armies. He's really just going to want for this to come back, clear out the Dragoons, and then start reamassing his army to defend themselves against what Josh is sending in. But the tower, I mean, we can see exactly how many kills he got there, but that was a lot. When they are clumped up and we get a cannonball right smack dab in the middle of everything, that is going to hurt like a mababa. But he's moving back. The Dragoons are pretty much cleared out. Now he just needs to reposition his lines and go on the offensive against Josh's troops. Or that tower, fortunately, it didn't hit very well. But now we are going to have this battle here. The last defense of Napoleon's base. The Dutch version of Napoleon. He has a lot of musketeers, just absolutely shooting down the round shears from Josh. But fortunately, Josh has a lot of musketeers as well. But they are very concentrated right now. And Napoleon will be able to shoot in all different angles here. But it's going to be even. Who is actually going to win this one? It looks like Napoleon has it. Yes, Napoleon managed to defend his base. It was not that close, unfortunately. But Josh has a massive army in reserve just waiting to go. And he also has this opening now into Napoleon's base. And in the meantime, I have actually managed to sneak in through an open palisade gate to start attacking his troops. Unfortunately, my Hussars just got absolutely annihilated by the firepower of the Netherlands infantry and, of course, the cavalry. But now we're just going to want to hold this foothold as much as possible. I'm starting to pull my troops back because I need to form them up. I need to not just have them spread out. I need to concentrate them a little bit and also bring up my cannons so we can start bringing down the palisades. And Josh is still just harassing the absolute bejesus out of Napoleon's base. In the back here, I mean, he can capture mines, he can capture anything. He can go over here, capture dwellings, destroy them, capture that mine, kill the peasants. And with not a lot of peasants on food or any of the resources, I mean, Netherlands won't be able to shoot for a long time unless they have a lot of spare resources that they can trade. but he is able to clear them out there. But now, both me and Josh, we are still communicating, of course, over the Discord. So now we are going to coordinate the attack. I'm starting to send out a lot of cannons, and we also have bombards. Longer range, no damage to troops, but pretty decent damage to buildings at least. So now we need to start sending everyone up. I wonder if I'll already start moving in through the gap, because here we have a very good opening into Napoleon's base, and I am starting to send in my hussars first, because we see that there are not a lot of melee troops in Napoleon's army. A lot of musketeers, a lot of dragoons, sure, and they will pack an insane punch, but not a lot of round shears or pikes or bayonets or anything like that that's going to protect them from my hussars. I am able to capture a coal mine and destroy that one to make sure that I cleared it out. But I have still kept the mines, or some the mines that I stole from the last outpost, and I have also started building my Prussian civilization. So I have 4 stables for Prussia, 2 17th century barracks, and I have also gotten finally my first 18th century barrack for Hungary. So I am starting to recruit quite a lot of troops, and that means, of course, that in the long term, Napoleon won't be able to hold out. We can see Josh keeps sending hussars in to harass everything he can. But this is not good for me, because my cannons are very vulnerable right now. I haven't moved my troops into attack anything, which means that they will just very easily be mowed down. Fortunately for me, Netherlands or Napoleon is pulling back his troops to kill the hussars and try to defend his base a little bit more. So very fortunate for me, because he would have been able to wipe me out there. And I'm also making Reiters, because they are have better defense against bullets, against the muskets and the firepower. So that's why I went for those instead of dragoons, because I have enough firepower in my army right now. And we are starting to attack Napoleon on 2 sides, and he will not be able to defend this, unfortunately. He was a real, he did a great job, the best he could in this game. I mean, he came to help Purple, and he actually pushed Josh back once. He's been able to deal a couple of blows to me. But now we have too many troops, and I'm even getting some friendly fire kills on Josh's around here. So I'm sorry about that, Josh, but it looks like you have troops to spare. And now we are pushing in, and I do not think that Napoleon will keep playing a lot longer. He doesn't have any mines, really. He has 1 coal mine and 1 iron mine, but they are going to be captured any second now. And we have pushed in. Are we going to see a surrender soon from Napoleon? Mines are gone, but we won't really see the surrender until his buildings start burning for no reason, the military buildings, unless we're just going to mow them down with our artillery. A lot of buildings destroyed, and now everything went silent, which I'm taking as a sign that he surrendered and we managed to win. This was a fun game. It wasn't a very balanced game, but I mean, I was pushed back hard here in the beginning. I could very well have lost everything there, but fortunately we managed to mass up our troops again. Now starting to make 18th century barracks for Prussia, but starting to mass up my troops again, and then we just managed to keep pushing on the Purple's base. And when we had that taken, when I started going on the 2nd civilization, it was, the days were counted, the minutes were counted for Napoleon, who still gave us a hell of a fight. Beautiful resistance and beautiful defense. He did a great job. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Any tips or tricks, please feel free to write them down in the comments below. And as always, I would like to recommend that you join the Discord if you want some people to play with. We are pretty friendly most of the time. So feel free to join if you want to play Cossacks 3 with some other people, and join us in the Discord. Have a great day and take care. I will see you in the next one.
The Weird Bubble.